Hey, what's up stream keepers, and welcome back to my channel. And in today's topic, I actually want to take this opportunity to talk to you guys about stream categorization. So I actually got this request for this video from one of the guys, and he is actually very passionate about stream keeping, and he's just ventured into this hobby, and he has been asking a lot of good questions. And certainly I would have missed out things like stream categorization in some of our topics or some of our videos today. So a very special shout out to him. And for today's topic, when we talk about stream categorization, I would like to make it as simple as possible. It may not be the way that what you have actually learned or what you have actually seen that is online, but how I actually categorize them to make it more simple for myself. And also from then we will deep dive into the different types of categorization in terms of the main line, the secondary line. And these are some of the topics that I have briefly touched on in terms of the stream industry. However, maybe let's start with the very first one, stream categorization. So stream categorization, I actually just put them into three big, very broad categories. So the crystal lines, the Taiwan B lines, and then the orange eye lines. So what that means is that for example, the crystal lines, you have streams like your pure black line, your pure red line, your Santa streams, your black ninja, those that are crystal line. And then on the other hand, we have the Taiwan B, which consists of your extreme red King Kong, your black King Kong, your deep blue boats, your galaxies, your boa. So these are actually what I actually categorize them under the Taiwan B side. And then the other one would be the orange eye. So I just put everything together. For example, orange eye tiger, it can be orange eye purple King Kong, or anything of those sort will be categorized under the orange eye. So these three broad categories actually helps me in terms of understanding when they start to crossbreed between crystalline and Taiwan B line and things like that. And if you can actually see on the graph, you can the list, you can actually see that I actually put Black Fancy Tiger on the crystal line, and I also put Black Fancy Tiger on the Taiwan B side. So what does that actually means? The long and short of it is that it depends on how the stream is being created or bred out. That will actually shows you or tell you the historical lineage on what they are actually being made up of. Like for example, over here you can actually see on the left side the crystal line. We have the Black Fancy Tiger, and then we have the Taiwan B line where they use pintos, they use Black King Kong to breed with the tiger. So they are actually technically like Galaxy Tigers, Pinto Tigers, and so on and so forth. So these are some of the things that people might question, why are there different types of Black Fancy Tigers, and in one of my videos I actually show the historical data, the literature around Black Fancy Tiger and how it's being firstly developed as the Black Fancy Tiger using the crystal line, the Black Ninjas, and then people start to move on because it is very difficult to breed, so they start to move on. So other breeders started to move on using pinto blood and things like that to actually make it more easier. So for example, breeding boas, they are fairly easy compared to the crystalline Black Fancy Tiger. Breeding boas, you actually get a lot of streamlets. Of course, that is we are not talking about the number of quality streams here. What I'm just talking about here is about breeding difficulty. So like for example, the Taiwan B line, we also have this red fancy tiger. So the red fancy tigers, if you continue to breed them a lot, you can actually, for those who have already done it, you can actually experience that there could be extreme red red King Kong being thrown out in terms of the streamlets. So you can actually kind of like get back to where or how the originator or how the breeder actually got the streams together. So that is the easy way to actually kind of like categorize in terms of the streams between crystalline, Taiwan B, and of course the orange eye. So now I want to take this opportunity to dive in a little bit deeper in terms of the categorization between the Taiwan bee, the crystal lines, and then we will move on to the main line and the secondary line. So as you can see from this, hierarchy, you can actually see that the Taiwan bee and the crystal streams are actually differentiated. And then in Taiwan bee, let's take for example the boas. The boas we actually know that is being created by a very reputable breeder, that's Skyfish. And then from this boa, how is being propagated or bred to actually split between the main line and secondary line. So why would a main line or a secondary line exist? I think they exist for commercial reasons, right? And one of them, in terms of secondary line, their appearance look like boas, but they are being created by mass breeding. They're females. You can get one very good male boa, and then you cross with many different types of females from the galaxy, from fishbone, from stardust, from anything, right? And then the offspring, the streamlets, you get those that looks like boa, and then you put them in a box, and then you say that these are actually boa. So technically, these are, their appearance look like boa, so they are considered as a secondary line of boa. So that piece of categorization, I think, at a deeper level, you will have to really understand, because that will determine the quality of your genetics and certainly the price that you pay. Like for example, I wouldn't want to pay $600 for a secondary line boa. That is because I want to pay what I should get. Like for example, if I'm going to buy a car, if I'm going to buy a Toyota or a Nissan and I pay that amount of money, then I would expect to get that kind of car, right? I wouldn't want to get something lower. And of course, if I get something higher, I mean, that's the bonus. But that's not going to happen, because at the end of the day, the streams are being bred out by breeders for commercial purposes as well. So, but trying to understand what you are actually getting is highly important. Just imagine, you say that you are very interested in boas, you are very passionate about boas, and you are like my friend who just started this hobby, and then want to go heads on into this, having up many tanks and then get into boas, like for example, and you get something, you pay for something that you didn't want. And I think that kills the interest entirely, because you feel like there is no guidance, people are in the hobby to cheat you. I think that is where the community will actually string. And I have been chatting with some of these guys in regards to stream politics and things like that. Definitely, everywhere in the world, in the stream industry, there are a lot of politics. And one of the rules that I go by, I've also learned from Taiwan breeders, is really to keep the streams yourself. Do your own things, enjoy the hobby, have a few good friends who really enjoy the hobby as well as you. Grow the community, have a positive community. And I think that will actually help you, or help the entire community grow and progress forward, instead of being stagnant, backstabbing, and name calling and things like that, because that doesn't actually add any value to the entire hobby itself. So having different opinions, I think that's fine, as long as it's justifiable, as long as you are actually able to justify or substantiate the information or the data that you are actually saying. What may appear to be logical may not be actually true. So this is some of the things that I think, over a long time, like for example, the main line of a boa and the secondary line of a boa, that hasn't been really discussed about. So I think this is some of the things that as more and more breeders go into the hobby, and more breeders are more and more serious about the hobby, then I think this information should be easily available to everybody, so that they can make informed decision on what they're actually getting, right? So it's not just why is this stream priced at this amount, and things like that. So I think the background story of understanding why the streams are being priced at that level. Is it because it's very difficult to breed? Is it because there is a high cow rate, or what is it? So these are some of the information I think it helps the breeder to actually make a good informed decision. So coming back to this entire categorization of streams, I think this is a very, very important topic, and having that categorization, having that understanding, the split between, you know, the crystal line and the Taiwan B line, or the Pinto line, you know. So these are some of the things that fundamentally, if you are able to actually wrap your head around it, you will be able to really understand or truly understand the makeup of the stream. And of course, the understanding will also determine and help you, guide you in terms of your stream breeding hobby as well. So I would really encourage you guys to try to understand some of the things. And if you really do not know, or who can you actually reach out to, you know, feel free to reach out to me. So anytime you can actually comment in the section below some of the questions that you want to ask, or reach me on Facebook, or things like that. So definitely there's no problem if you have any doubts in terms of it. And I have been, you know, sharing all this information outright, so that, you know, I actually wanted you guys to have all this information firsthand, and then that will help you in terms of your breeding journey as well. So really appreciate my this new friend who has just started this hobby. He has given me some ideas in terms of what are some of the topics that I can actually share, and that's awesome, because sometimes I get blockhead. I really don't know what else can I actually share in terms of the content. However, you know, feel free to provide, you know, some of the content that you really want to see in the comment section below. So I think that's the end of this video. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, peace out.